Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd pop on here and I'm making this 3-ring binder, not binder, just 3-ring junk journal. This is the base. So all I'm going to do is the base. I'm not even going to show you or talk about what I'm going to put in it, what kind of pictures and what kind of vintage things I'm going to put in it. This is just the base. So we're going to make one of these and I'll show you how I do it. And then I get 6 of them together and I put a ring through it and it makes a journal. So I use 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. And if you have pretty paper, you don't have to put the extra matting on here. So I have the scrapbook paper under here, and then I've taken some pattern paper that I like and put it here. And then I'm actually going to put some more stuff over the top of it, so but it's going to come off. I'm going to clip it on, so this will be the base, and they could do different things with it once they got the journal. So all I do is take a 12, and I have a lot of 12 by 12 papers that I had gotten in garage sales and just different things like that, and I don't use a lot of 12 by 12 papers in journals like the regular journals, so I was trying to think of something to use it for, and this is what I came up with. Usually most of my papers aren't double-sided, but this one just happens to be. So I just glue one side and fold it in half. I just glue it real good. And one of the secrets to getting paper like this to stick and have all the corners and everything else actually stay down is to use your brayer once you're done. So you have scrapbook paper that's white on one side. You just fold it in so that both of the patterns are shown on the outside. You just fold it in half. And don't worry if it's not completely straight. You can cut off a little bit of the edges if it doesn't come out completely straight. And then the trick is to use this, to press down that glue and move it around towards the edges and to get it to stick on all of the paper. And then all I do is cut this in half. So I get a bunch of these scrapbook papers that I'm not going to use for anything else. Maybe even I don't love the patterns because sometimes you're not going to see it. If you're going to mat it again, you're just going to see the edge, or you don't even have to see the edge. But it makes a nice sturdy base. So I get these and then I cut it in half. And these are some of the papers that I'm going to use for this one. And like I said, you can show the edge or not show the edge. I've been showing the edge mostly. So here's one. Here's my base. I usually try to take the folded edge towards where I'm going to put the holes and leave the open edge this way. And then I like to do stuff on the edge of the paper. I cut this pattern paper to show a little bit of this edge. I like to put either silver or gold metallic paint pen on my edge, and you can definitely use your ink, your walnut stain, any kind of ink that you like if you want to make it a little bit more vintagey. I just like the look of this. I like the silver one the best. I don't know why. The gold one looks good too, but the silver one just depends. And these paint pens have a wedge on the edge, which is easier to do this. The paint pens that are rounded, it's much harder. You almost have to set it down and do it on another piece of paper. And then I like to do this edge too. And I could have done silver on that, and then I could have just inked this if I wanted to. And like I said, you can do your paper. Like if this was really pretty pattern paper, you don't have to put that extra paper on there. You just fold it in half. And this is pretty sturdy, see? Because you want a little sturdier paper for these 3-ring binder ones. And you can put pockets on these, and you can attach. I'll see, the last one I made, I attached some of those doily pockets. That looked really pretty. I'm going to make this shabby no matter what I do. It's going to be some type of a shabby journal. So we're going to go like this, and you want to make sure that you get the glue on the corners. The corners never want to stick, so I kind of go double time on them. And get it to stick better. And then I also do this one just a little bit in the corners, like so. And the base turned out to be about 6 by 6, so I cut the papers about, oh, actually I cut them maybe 5 3/4 about, so almost 6, so that I got my little edge. And make sure and really press down on those corners so they stick. And if they don't stick, if you notice it, you just glue it back down. For some reason the corners are always trouble. So I'm going to use this. I got this die from Temu, and it's the little, they're called something, circle somethings. Maybe I'll think of it before the end of this video. Not tabs. Anyways, we're going to put some of these down, and once you have the first one, you use that first one as your template for the next ones. You just make sure it's straight. And if they're off just a little bit, it doesn't matter on these 3-ring binders because they're kind of loose. So it's not like totally important to be. And sometimes you don't have very good paper where you can see the pencil mark. So you want to look and see. Like you can barely see that pencil mark, but you can. And then you just get a punch, a hole punch, and make sure it's kind of in the middle of that where you put your circle so that it'll be even. If you get it too far this way, then that ends up off the page. Go like this, like that, like that. And then I like to use this Tombow glue on these because it lets it move around afterwards. So I can move it around and get the circle right on there. Get, you know, lined up on there so that it's not showing through the hole. So the paper is not showing through the hole. And then I do that on the front and the back of all sides, about 6 of them. You could do 8 of them. It's all up to how thick you want it and what the size of your ring binders are that you're going to use to hold it together. So I just thought you could be interested in how I'm doing this, and this is pretty sturdy. So that's a nice sturdy page. And if you'll notice on the where you're buying your digitals and stuff, a lot of the new people that are using that AI stuff, they're doing these square digitals. And I was like wondering, I love them, some of them are really cool. I made a Christmas carolers journal. You can look back. I did a video on it. Turned out really nice. That's what I'm going to do with this one. Not Christmas carolers, but some other theme. But those are square. They're not made for a page like on a regular junk journal signature. So I came up with this to kind of use these digitals that I really liked. So that is that, and I really hope you're having a great day, and I hope it's real creative for you, and I hope the weather isn't too bad where you're at. If you have any questions or comments or anything at all, just leave it in the description box for me. I'm more than happy to answer. And thank you so much for stopping by, and you please take care.